Before getting into today's episode, we'd like to thank Mac Performance PT for sponsoring the Walk On Pod. For more on their services and contact information, click the link in our Instagram bio where you will be led to their website. Mac Performance PT, helping Sacramento athletes live life without limits. Thank you for tuning back into the Walk On Pod. I'm Luka Dolovich, and of course, with me I have Jared Waters and Tommy Ball. We'd first like to open the episode with a couple apologies. One, this is a day late, and two, it's supposed to be a guest week, and we don't have one. We don't really have an excuse except for things came up and we couldn't make a play on time. On the road, a lot of different things, and we just couldn't adapt and make it happen. So we apologize. We promise to bring you great content this week. We have a couple guests lined up that we're excited about, and we're just going to get right into it. So, fellas, I appreciate you for being here with me today, and you know how we do it. Let's get right into it. How are we feeling?
Yes, sir.
That was just a great intro. Shout out to all our fans that are listening.
There was some
Happy
engagement
Monday, guys.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. There was probably a Charles Byrne comment somewhere of like where I'm waiting for my episode kind of.
I get texts from David Camard every single week if
Yeah.
it's late. So he keeps me in check, so I respect that. But
Yeah.
you know how we do it? We start off with the
Yeah.
scouting report. Who are we starting this week? Who are we sitting this week? Hopefully it is still relevant, although it's a day late. Jared, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, because mine's relevant for all of time.
Oh, jeez. Let's get into it.
Buckle up.
I'm just gonna sit. I have a sit this week, obviously. DC Comics, stop making movies. That's it. That's my sit. I'm sitting DC.
I thought this was supposed to be like a sports related stuff.
No, I took it a different route. I'm sitting all DC Comics movies. I watched the Blue Beetle. That might
Which
be one
movie?
of the worst.
I was gonna
That
say-
might be one of the worst movies.
I don't know why you did that. Like
It was it was free. I didn't have to pay for it. So
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, it's on HBO. So it's like
Okay,
I watched
okay.
it and I fell asleep 20 minutes in, and then I was like, all right, well I gotta see if it gets any better. Then I fell asleep an hour in, and I was like, all right, well now I just have to finish the movie. So it took me 3 days to watch it. Yeah, they just can't make movies, man. They should just sit down, stop making movies, unless it's like a Batman movie that has nothing to do with the DC universe. But yeah, that's my sit. That was really bad cinema. And they like The Flash was bad. Like they just have not made a good movie in a really long time. And I think it's probably just time for them to hang it up.
Yeah, I feel like Batman's the only one they ever hit
Yeah,
on.
Yeah. Like and not all the Batmans.
I
Like
don't even
some of
bother to watch them.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like I'm done. So I'm just saying I'm
I'm not
sitting
gonna lie, at this point I don't even watch the Marvel movies either. So
Yeah. Yeah, well. Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't
can
watch.
talk about
I didn't watch the most recent one either.
yeah, that says a lot too. If you're not
And
watching it.
I'm like the Marvel guy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Not a good time for movies. Isn't it supposed to be a good time for movies? Christmas is usually like a blockbuster time, I thought.
Yeah, maybe used to be, but then nobody goes to movies anymore, so everything's streamed.
That is true. We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anyways,
I guess
that's my
the
sit.
Hunger Games was good. I didn't see that though.
I didn't even know there was a new one.
won't be watching.
Yeah. And that's where we're at right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, we come out the gate with a sit. Tom, do you want to go or do you want me to fire off here?
I can go.
All right, man.
I had a sit last week, and he kind of backed up why I sat him this week. Unfortunately, I hate to see that, but we're not here to discuss that. I'm gonna have a start this week, and I'm gonna start the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise. I'm very impressed with what they're doing over there in Minnesota from top to bottom. I think they've got a lot of hate for that Rudy Gobert trade, but I think they're like 17-4 right now, and they're kind of clicking on all cylinders. They look like a really good team, forced to be reckoned with.
You're a
What do you
big
guys
Karl
think of
Anthony
that?
Towns fan, right?
He's funny. I'd say I'm more
Um,
of an Anthony Edwards fan, and I also like Jaden McDaniels a lot. I think I don't love Rudy Gobert, but he's playing well.
I think the biggest thing for them has just been Ant turning into the superstar that everyone like knew he was going to be. And like we kind of saw that blossoming this summer with the USA stuff, but like he's a bona fide superstar and it's pretty apparent now. And like if they keep the play up that you're talking about, he's gonna have to be talked about in that upper echelon of NBA players if he's already not, essentially.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's pretty much like, at least in current time. I don't want to speak too far in the future, but like he's pretty much surpassed like Zion, Ja, all these other guys, and he just, yeah, I think he'll have a good rest of the year. And then if he blows, if he plays well in the playoffs, and it's like he kind of pretty much, he's him and Shea are like next up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
I
a
mean,
good
what
pick,
and
Tom.
they're
That's a good
and
pick.
they're what? They're 1 and 2 in the West too, right? Isn't
Yeah,
isn't OKC still 2?
yeah, I think so.
It's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I mean, they're SGA is also he's really good too.
He's a problem. He is a
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
And it looks like he's
That
gonna be for a
shoulder,
while.
that shoulder bump, mid range fade, man.
yeah.
I mean, if you're
Nice.
if you're the Thunder, and I don't completely know what their draft pick makeup looks like, but I'm pretty sure they still have a decent amount in the holster, correct?
12 to 14, I think.
Yeah.
So your rebuild is looking like it's rebuilt at this point, right? So where do you go from here? Like as a
Well,
GM,
did you know that I didn't know this. I saw this on Twitter. Did you know they drafted Sengun?
I saw that
are
on
you
Twitter. I didn't know that
serious?
either.
Yeah, they traded him on draft night, but they drafted him.
So they when was it like? Do they miss on draft picks?
No,
Like
Sam Presti never misses,
Um,
bro.
yeah, I mean, they drafted like I think I
I
saw
don't
this the
know.
other day. Like they drafted Pokashevsky or whatever. He was a miss kind like up to now.
But I
I feel
mean,
like he
that's not, I mean, he was a serviceable player, but like there's nowhere for him to
Yeah.
play.
Trey Mann doesn't really play much for them.
Yeah, that's true. Trey Mann might have been a miss,
There
but
was like they showed I saw this the other day. There was like two or three names in there that is just kind of like whatever, but then you've got Chet, Jalen Williams.
right. So I feel like
Like
because it's so saturated with great picks that it's like you don't even notice the other
exactly.
yeah,
ones. Whereas like when a team only has 1 or 2 picks a year, then it's like a bad
Yeah.
pick is so polarized.
I was just gonna
yeah.
say they have so many picks. The fact that they've hit on probably 60 to 70% on them,
To,
That's
it
to
doesn't really
hit
crazy.
to
matter.
hit to hit Jalen and Chad in the same like lottery is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elite
That's
picks for
actually really
sure.
nice. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think they probably, I mean, they need the package for something. I just actually don't really know what they would
That's what I'm
need other
saying.
than
That's what like
like
what do you
maybe a
do?
backup big, right? Or like, like I don't know. Like wait, like they
It's
have, I mean, you have a backcourt and you have defense and you,
Do they still start Giddy?
yeah, they do. Yeah. But he's like the
I
connector
mean,
piece for
maybe they
them.
could move off him.
Nah, I think he fits them well because you can't get a true shooting guard too because you already have Shea.
That's
yeah.
true.
So it's like
Yeah, maybe they don't need to do
he's the
anything.
connector piece. I feel like if anything, they just need like a big. They probably need a big because Steven Adams is hurt, right, out for the season.
He's on the Grizzlies anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Oh God, I'm old.
That was
Tripping.
crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I was tripping for a second.
Yeah, no,
Nah,
I don't. That's to space
I
out.
mean,
That's the sleep
Steven Adams
deprivation
being
right
out
there.
is hurting the Grizzlies though.
Yeah, they
They
have a
weren't
lot
far
of
off.
guys out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they definitely need a big, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really good. I don't know.
I mean, like you said, them and Minnesota at the top of the West.
I need to see Minnesota do something in the playoffs though.
Yeah, that's
Because Rudy
super fair.
Gobert, Rudy Gobert is going to get played off the court. Like we've seen it happen
Yeah.
over and over again. So
That's why they throw in Nas Reed.
Yeah, I
yeah,
was just
Nas
about to
Reed's
say
is
that.
nice.
And
He's
he's
nice.
tough.
Yeah,
He's
he's
super
nice.
tough.
He's nice.
He
All
might have a
right,
good,
Luke, what you got, bro?
So, I was nervous that mine wasn't going to play out today because I had a football start and it ended up playing out. And I feel like again, I try to keep things pretty on brand with the walk on pod, and I feel like this guy is as on brand as it gets. I want to start Brock Purdy. And I
Nice.
might be behind the train, obviously, but I want to do it more for the sense that there was kind of the lull in the middle of the season there, and obviously the Niners offense and Shanahan's system and everything definitely helps, and I'm not blind to that. But he had a little lull there. They had their bye week. They got healthy, and he came back firing. And like there were a bunch of naysayers going into that bye week about like isn't the quarterback for this system. He can't make a real play. Like he's not a real QB in the NFL and all this. And he's putting up MVP type numbers, literally, and with probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And so I feel like for being the last pick of the NFL draft, which is ridiculous, like how many players are drafted, and to be doing this is pretty phenomenal. And the fact that I wanted to do it this week was after the Eagles game where Debo was kind of heading the trash talk where he was like, if we had Brock, it would be a whole different story and all that. And he backed it up tenfold. Like Debo obviously killed it, but like Brock came out and was balling. And
Yeah.
that's again before that game, people were probably going to say the Eagles were the number one powerhouse team in the NFL. I don't think after tonight we just saw they got ran too. So maybe the Brock Purdy masterclass kind of derailed them a little bit, but like I just think for what we talk about with taking advantage of opportunities and everything, like you had this kid that was essentially supposed to be written off, and here he is leading a Super Bowl contender through late season right now, which and I think is pretty impressive.
Do you question like all the other teams that how do you miss how does he go all the way through? Like do you
So
think it's is that is that a scouting department issue, or is that like a Brock Purdy issue, or is that just like perception?
yeah, I don't know enough about football drafting, I guess,
Yeah.
to answer that question. And I also don't know enough about his Iowa State stats. I'm sure he was
Yeah.
balling, but there were all the stories last year, like when he had to step into the starting role and was doing well. When I don't know if you remember, Kittle was like, "No, he's a dog." Like he would give us issues on practice squad teams and all
Yeah.
that, and like that's something that I feel like in history that you've always seen that you can't scout that. Like you can't
Yeah.
scout if a guy has that in him, and like
That's
clearly
true.
he had that in him. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that kind of answers the question.
The Tom factor.
Yeah. But like I don't get that like he there was a lot of naysayers, like especially this year. Like after that Minnesota game, he was looking a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. But like, dude, the last two games, and like if you look at his stat line from today, I think it was 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, rolled over a pretty solid Seahawks team twice in the
He's
last
a
3 weeks.
he's a baller, dude. He is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I,
interesting.
it is, and like again, like I don't know much about like my football knowledge past surface level
Fantasy.
is pretty. We can talk about
Eh,
that if we want to talk about that, but um, like I understand the game to a level of not player, but I would say at the upper echelon of viewers, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone who didn't play but can kind of see the game from just a competitor standpoint. You could tell how much the guy cares, and like
hmm
it would be pretty easy for him to have stepped into that position last year and been like, whoop de doo, like, I'm enjoying what I got, but like, wasn't really supposed to be here. No, he's taking full advantage of this. And like, if they go
Yeah.
and win the Super Bowl this year, it's
Yeah. Is
going to
he
be
getting
pretty impressive.
he's getting a fat contract if they win the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, bro. He's got to.
He has to, right?
I mean, he
Like,
blew up.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
We gotta remember. We gotta remember that they took a quarterback in that draft too. Like Trey Lance was picked second overall, and
Moved
yes,
right.
him.
unfortunately, he got hurt and circumstances happened.
Which, yeah,
But Brock
100%.
Purdy is like
Where is he now? Trey Lance?
he's
Dallas.
he's the Dallas backup.
Not
Dang,
even
bro.
backup. I think he's third string.
He
And
might be
Dak
third
is
string. Yeah,
cooking, so it's like,
yeah.
that sucks, man.
It sucks.
Dak.
So I
Yeah,
mean, a
that's
lot of people are just saying like he's carried by Ayuk and Debo, and I think it's just blind hate because he was
Which,
the last overall pick in the draft, and
right.
people just for some reason people just hate the 49ers. I mean, I'm not a
yeah.
49ers fan. I'm a Raiders guy, but I don't know why
Yeah.
people just hate them so much,
Yeah.
and they like to
Clearly
discredit everything they do.
Jimmy G couldn't make it happen. Like
There's,
Yeah,
You see,
And
I've
he's
kind of
clearly on
noticed.
another level than Jimmy ever was. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Jimmy made it to a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
had a
Right.
chance to win it.
Yeah.
And I think it would be naive to, like I said in the beginning, to not say that their system and Shanahan and everything doesn't help them. And obviously,
Yeah,
they have one of the
for
best
sure.
defenses in the league. Of course, as a quarterback, having one of the best defenses in the league is probably the most confidence you can go into your sets with. Just like
Yeah.
knowing that they have your back no matter what you do
But-
out there.
But
But
I,
still,
yeah.
someone still has to make the plays. Like someone
Yeah, like
still
Exactly.
has to put the ball in
or
the
not mess it up.
right. Like, and so
Yeah.
you still got to be so, and that in itself has pressure. Like to know, okay, so again, like I said, that probably gives you utmost
Yeah, I was
confidence, but
gonna
it's
say
also
that.
like you look at the Jets. This is a perfect example. You look at the
Exactly.
Jets. They have
Yeah.
one of the best defenses in the league, and they cannot score the football to save their lives. Their defense will hold the team to 7 to 10 points weekly, and they will lose games. Like that is
Yeah.
crazy. So like
Yeah.
someone's still got to go out there and make the plays.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
that's
think
what I
that
think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good
No,
point,
I
Luke.
agree with you. I think that's like the thing I don't like is that like you still the other team has defense too. Like you still have to play offense. Like you don't get to
Yeah.
just like you know what I mean. It's not the Ravens from like
hmm
yeah,
2000.
you don't got Ed Reed taking it back for 6 every
Yeah,
single time he sees the
yeah,
ball.
Ray Lewis out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
Uh,
making like
he's made crazy good reads.
he had a dime today to
Yeah.
Debo,
yes.
like 40-yard drop it right in the bread basket. Like he's a good QB,
No,
bro. I don't
he's
care.
good. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. He's
I don't
stacked.
like
That's
the
what I'm.
hate.
Yeah.
Like he's the last pick in the draft and he's out here balling like that. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they
There's
went
all this
out,
stuff.
I don't really know how you can't give him MVP. Like they
Yeah.
slaughtered Dallas.
I
They
mean,
slaughtered
if
Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to have that conversation, I think it's number 10 over in Miami that deserves the
Yeah,
MVP. But
I
that's
wouldn't be mad if Tyreek got it. I really wouldn't be, but like we've known the NFL
it's a
and
QB. It's a
it's a
QB
QB
dominated.
award. Like it's a
Yeah.
QB award.
I mean, I
Do
don't
I
know.
think
I also
Tyreek could
still
deserve
think
it? Yeah,
CMC because like CMC gets should get as much love on that
he
too.
should.
Even
He
even though
should.
the running back stuff gets diminished, like I think today was the first he had scored a touchdown. How long?
No, he
He missed
hasn't.
one
A
a
couple
couple
weeks.
weeks ago, but like
Oh, okay.
before that it was like 17 straight games.
That's
It's just
So,
sick.
yeah.
insane.
And
Yeah.
he would have had a touch he should have had two touchdowns today. That he broke off a 76-yard run on the first play and then he was tired, so they let the backup score.
Yeah.
And then they were
Yeah,
on the
he had like
1-yard line.
150. He had like 180 all-purpose yards today. Like,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
watching. They were on the 1-yard line, and everyone knew it was going to him. So they went jet sweep to Debo, and he scored. Like
Mm.
it's like a gravity like shooter coming off a pin down. Like two guys
Yeah.
go with the shooter wide
yeah,
open dunk.
literally,
Like
literally.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
funny,
That makes sense.
like I don't know. I would love to see the MVP go to a position player rather than the QB,
I would
but it
love
just
if
probably
Tyreek
won't.
got it. If he gets 2,000 yards, I
If
mean,
Tyreek breaks 2,000 yards, I think he has to. Like I think he has to. And what he does for
Where's he
that
at right
offense,
now? He's like pretty close.
he
it's like
needs he needs like
it's like 15 or 1,600, I
yeah, I
think,
think they said he needs like just over 100 yards each game average for the rest of the
I
way,
feel like
which
he'll
is
do that.
which he
he
gets
gets
in
that
like
in like
three
Yeah.
2
plays, bro.
passes, literally.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
ahead. I'm ahead right now by like 60 something in fantasy, but my guy I'm playing has Tyreek Tua in the kicker. So I'm like, I texted in our group chat, and it's my other league, Luke. I would text our group chat. I'm like, I'm mentally preparing myself for a Tyreek Hill 75-yard touchdown first play tomorrow. so I can't be upset when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
But yeah, that was my start. I'm glad we got a good chatter out of that. We do
Yeah,
have
that was
one
a good
thing we
start, Luke.
wanted. Thanks, man. We do have one thing we wanted to talk about. Jared, I know you were kind of head this with the
Oh, the in
in-season
season?
tournament. But,
Yeah, I think like I watched the second half. AD finally just decided to be first team all NBA player and he made Miles Turner look like not an NBA player. Fouled him out pretty quick. And yeah, they just I mean it it ended up being really good, man. That's the one thing I would take away from it is that for early season games, I didn't know how it was going to play out, but it actually worked really well to kind
yeah,
of get you through. Like it kept things exciting through football season because that's usually what happens is like the NBA season starts a little too early. Like I've always said, I think I've said on this pod, they
You
should
have
they should cut it to 60 to 62 games. or no, 72 games, and they shouldn't start until Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you have said
Like,
that.
and I think this allowed them to like it worked. I mean, it had a lot of hype. I think I read yesterday, the game had the most views of any NBA game this year was that one
Oh yeah,
on a primetime Saturday night game. It was cool that they played like a neutral location. Yeah, I think everything about it was good except for the courts. Like I think hopefully they can figure something else out. But like
I,
people, they got the hype train going. So it's like I don't know if you need to do crazy courts or maybe just make the court the color do the color of the team's original color. Like don't just do insane colors. There's just
yeah,
like insane colors that hurt your eyes.
and even maybe just throw in the championship trophy on the court. Like,
Yeah.
no need to have the football racing or the racing stripe in the middle and make it a red
Yeah.
court. Like,
Yeah.
did anyone see what Adam Silver said about
I
the
did.
courts?
I was
No,
I
what'd he
heard you
say?
I heard you say
So
something, Luke. So I'll
so
let you do it.
he said so. Do you know how there's
You're gonna hate this,
always
Jared.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know
of
how
course
there's
I.
always talk about the NBA Finals old course with the big Larry O'Brien in the middle, and everyone's like, "Oh, bring that back, bring that back." So apparently, he said, I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, "We're looking into a court change, but probably not something that's just with the Larry O'Brien in the middle, but similar to like the court color changes." So I don't think the court color changes is going away anytime soon. If they're gonna do
Yeah.
it for the actual NBA
Uh,
Finals,
Oh, that's
I
sickening
would
if he
kind
does
of
it for the
hate it if
finals.
they
I'll
do it for
fight
the
him.
finals. Yeah,
I
I would
think
hate that.
the big Larry O'Brien in the middle is class too. Like
It's
I
Yeah.
think they have to
class.
do
It's
that.
so
Bro,
good.
and there's already enough stuff on the court already for like all the
Yeah.
ad stuff. Like
Yeah,
yesterday, that was the
yeah.
one thing. Speaking of technical difficulties, in the second half, there was I don't remember what ad it was, but there was an ad in the like top left corner in like on the right wing, and like every time somebody ran through it, it would just glitch them out.
That's
Like
Yeah.
funny actually.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
bro, like TNT, you've got the electronic like blinking shot clock in the middle of the key, and then you've got a
yeah.
set of two logos in the right corners that are like switching every quarter. I'm like, there's so much going on
Yeah,
television
it's like a
as
headache.
is.
It's a headache. So I think, yeah, I would say I'm good with the color of the court being not like hardwood color, but make it the color of the team. Like if it's the Kings, like make the court black and then wear purple jerseys or something like that. Like don't do multicolor racing stripe
Yeah,
nonsense.
the
Or like
multicultural.
random colors. Like don't
I
make
would
it
say though.
blue. Like the Kings court was blue. Like get out of
It
here,
So
was it
man.
was a baby blue. Yeah.
Like
so I want you guys to think about it from this standpoint now because it's making sense to me. People are talking about it. People were talking about it when they were
Yeah.
released. And
And
guess
that's why
what?
they did it.
Now we're talking about
yeah.
the in-season tournament. And so they basically just trapped us. They trapped us.
Yeah, of course they
This is
did.
what
This
the
is
fourth
Sports Center.
time on this
Yeah.
podcast that we've talked
Clickbait.
about it. Like, you know
They
what
did a
I'm
great
saying?
job, dude. They
Yeah.
did.
No, that's what I'm
They're
saying. It was good. It was exciting. And like Austin Reeves' quote for what he's going to do with the money is the best.
Yeah,
What'd he
good
say?
for
I
him.
think I missed that.
He
He's
said,
getting a
I'm going to get a membership at
Riviera.
Riviera,
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
which the buy-in is like 500.
He's
That's
great.
awesome.
He's great for the program.
Um,
Yeah.
I would say Adam Silver's 2 for 2, man. Playing tournament, in season tournament, both great additions to the league.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Does the in-season tournament championship and MVP go on the LeBron resume now?
I
Uh,
saw that they're going to name the trophy after.
Oh, that's crazy. They probably
I
will down the
mean,
line if
Yeah,
they keep it going.
that's what like the person that was tweeting about it was like deductive reasoning it to like, well, if they change the name of the All-Star MVP to the Kobe Bryant trophy, now the in-season tournament trophy is going to be the LeBron.
I think if the Lakers win it this year, it looks good for them. Like they were
But
dominant start to finish. I don't know. That's just
I'm
kind of
just saying
hard.
right now, like obviously there's always the MJ LeBron debate, and you can take whatever side you want. I don't care. Does that weigh heavily at all? Because we watched it. These games definitely meant a little more. Like it was very clear that these were not
Yeah. I think
basic regular season games.
I definitely don't think we can discard it completely. I don't think you
no.
can.
I also think they did show the other stat. I wish I had it in front of me. I should have wrote it down or screenshot it. The Lakers beat like a lot of the weaker teams in the league just based on how the matchups happen, and they were showing the Pacers beat like
Yep.
4
What?
really good
They beat some heavy hitters.
they ran the gauntlet. You know what I mean? So it's like it's definitely one of those things we don't blame the Lakers for playing who's in front of them, but it's like in
Right.
single game elimination, like you can't sit here and tell me that the Pacers were a great story and they looked great, and like obviously Halliburton's having his coming out, and that was probably the most important thing that came out of all that out
Yeah.
of the in season was his people seeing him on a national stage, but like Bron, like they're not as good as the Lakers.
No, we talked about that, Jared. Like the Lakers just they have so many wings that they can throw at a guy like Tyrese and just make his
Yeah,
life hell.
like that's the one thing that I learned is I'm like, oh wow, like Cam Reddish is playing
Dude.
like a 3-and-D guy, and like
And then
you
you
have
got
Vanderbilt
Jared
out there,
Vanderbilt.
and
Yep.
like they're gonna cause problems. Like the only thing that's gonna kill them is if they run into Nuggets, and then Anthony Davis is gonna run away from Jokic. That's it.
Yeah. It was the same thing last year, bro. They just
Yeah.
they completely overwhelmed I can't remember who they played in the first round. They
Oh,
went playing, right?
yeah, no,
Grizzlies, yeah.
They
They
beat the Grizzlies.
overwhelmed the Grizzlies and then they just made the Warriors look like
Look bad. Yeah. Well, they didn't have
infants.
any
Like
answer from AD, right? And then they just ran into Jokic.
yeah, and then they were just
Yeah.
Jokic was that I mean the Nuggets were on a mission, but they're
Yeah.
not playing great right now.
Yeah, I also feel like LeBron is like playing at such a crazy level that like it doesn't
Dude.
look like he's gonna slow down, bro. Like I
Dude,
don't
it's
really know what you
insane.
can say. Yeah.
He's
So
the
I think
oldest player. He's the oldest player in the league.
yeah. So to answer
What
your
is wrong with him?
well, I can tell you, but uh to answer your question, Luke, I feel like it's just like a huge confidence boost for probably those other guys, right?
Yep.
Like as far as for the Lakers moving forward, like I think it can translate into like
That wasn't what I was asking. I was
Oh.
asking the GOAT
The question
debate.
was the GOAT debate.
Does this matter?
Oh, I don't know. So
I
everybody
don't.
says it's a Mickey Mouse trophy,
in
but
terms of the GOAT debate, I don't think it matters. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think it
no,
matters
because
like
Kobe and MJ couldn't play
Yeah.
like the in season tournament, so like they wouldn't, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I was just wondering.
I don't think it matters.
The Mickey Mouse. I saw. Did you see the tweet
Yeah.
that was like the Lakers when it comes to Mickey Mouse rings, and it was the Kevin
Yeah.
Durant Warriors.
That's awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
you
crazy.
guys heard what I said, right? They won the Tarkanian Classic. All the real
Yeah.
hoopers know what that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That's a good tournament. Though. That's a good
It's
tournament.
so funny. That's a good
Yeah.
tournament, man.
I think
yeah.
I think overall it was a success. I think it was a great I didn't like it at first, and I can say that it was I watched the game. I went back and watched the second half last night. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Success.
Something to
Good
say.
job, Adam Silver.
All right, last thing we should probably touch on very briefly. I don't want to ramble on this at all. But we do touch all sports. $700 million to Shohei Ohtani. I did take
Yeah.
a screenshot of the tweet because I wanted to talk about it because it's actually insane.
Can't even it doesn't
This
make sense to
guy-
me, dude. That's mind blowing.
Where's this picture that I took?
LA's got stars, man. I mean, I
this guy
already
will
know he
be-
was in LA, but
Yeah, I don't get those tweets, but maybe
Yeah.
I don't understand. Okay, he will be making $70 million a year, $5.83 million a month, $1.45 million a week, 207,000 a day, 8,630 an hour, 143 a minute, and $2.39 a second.
Did you see what is going to happen
is
to him after
insane.
taxes, though?
yeah, he's gonna lose half of it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's-
whoop-de-doo.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that's crazy living in California.
Yeah,
crazy.
Imagine that contract in Texas would look a lot different.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go to the
Yeah.
Rangers, man. Come on.
I mean, it was kind of a real no-brainer move for him. I'm sure the Dodgers offered the most money, and he doesn't have to move. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so explain this to me. That I hope this isn't. I don't want to drag too
I
much.
think
but
I know what you're gonna ask, and I
Yeah.
don't know
Why do the
either.
Angels? Why are the Angels so bad? Why are they
Yeah,
so bad?
I have no idea.
Why
I
can't they
asked
just
the
win?
same question yesterday,
Him
Jared.
and Mike Trout, literally.
You have
like
the
best
two
players.
best players in baseball, and you can't even win.
Sniff the
You
wild
can't
card.
even make the playoffs. It's crazy. I don't know.
It's
who
just
it
how
is.
much
I don't watch
different
enough
baseball is.
baseball.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
watch
I don't
enough
understand
baseball to know.
baseball enough to get it.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
That's
I just wanted to
crazy,
touch
man.
on it.
No,
I just
I
wanted to
mean,
touch on it.
that's like having Braun and KD. It feels like, but I guess it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't pull the same weight apparently.
Yeah. Good for
But-
Go
him,
ahead.
though. I mean,
Yeah,
biggest
good. Yeah,
contract
I
in
mean,
sports history.
yeah,
We
I don't
wanted
know.
to talk about it because we hope that the Walk On Pod gets a similar contract here soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh my God. I don't know, but days. If you count days of actual work, Rom might have him though. 500,
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
162 games. You got to play both sides. Rom does 10 tournaments a
I
year.
don't think he's pitching next. I don't think he's pitching next year, though.
Oh, okay. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just talking.
I know. I was just saying that. Like, I think he's got like a surgery or something, and he's not going to pitch next year.
Yeah. Still got 700 though. It's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. Let's get into the starting five. Jared, you actually won. You
Nice.
actually won. You won both.
Can I see if I'm winning to this week's too?
That is this week's, Jared. It's Sunday night right now. Like the voting. What do you mean this week's?
I'm just kidding.
You're not. Anyways, so basically, our starting five. Tis the season. We are going with. We tinkered a lot with this because we wanted to make sure that we did one that wasn't similar to our Christmas themed one last year. So we're going with holiday foods. Starting five.
Yeah, let's snake draft it. I'll go first. Tommy goes second. Luke, you got
Okay.
last.
All right.
Do
kick us
liquids
off, man.
play?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's roll.
All right. Okay. At my point guard. This he's the glue that keeps my team together. He's just super solid, man. He's like TJ McConnell. Just keeps his team solid, whether he's playing a lot of minutes or he's not playing a lot of minutes. I'm gonna start him because I feel like my team is a little like I got a lot of discrepancy on the rest of the roster, so I feel like this guy really just holds things together. Give me mashed potatoes,
Okay.
no gravy, mashed
Wasn't
potatoes,
ready for
just
that
real
one, actually.
solid.
Nice.
Wasn't
No
ready for
gravy.
that.
I like it.
Yeah, that's my glue guy.
My glue guy, the spark of the team, if you will. I've got
How can he be a glue guy and a spark guy?
I've got sparkling cider at the one. Martinelli's.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a holiday staple, man.
is. That
Maybe
actually is.
just
It definitely
maybe
is.
just for my family and me, but
No, it
Martinelli's at
definitely
the
is.
table on Thanksgiving, on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Like, it's there, man. Martinelli's.
Wow.
It's a good play. That's actually a good play. I'm glad you. So I like that. I have two liquids, and they're both in my backcourt, and I thought you were gonna take them and you didn't. So my first one,
I know
again-
what one of them's gonna be.
and again, like, look, man, I'm the one that's gonna and go out here and fight for those small populations of people that rock with everything, but they're
Oh
gonna
my
fight.
God.
All right, give me eggnog at the
Yep.
point guard.
This is
Bro,
disgusting.
you can't have holidays without eggnog, man. I'm telling you, eggnog. It's a top 5
It's a
holiday.
terrible. It's just like a terrible invention.
It's delicious. I love eggnog. In the eggnog community is gonna fight for me. So I need eggnog.
just like the
Eggnog
candy
community is
corn,
strong.
just like the candy corn, man. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
similar vibes
Uh,
from the eggnog
But
camp.
the reason I put it at the point guard, mind you, I just want to continue my explanation here.
Yeah, sorry.
So it's extremely niche to the holiday season. You don't see eggnog out
Yes.
ever outside of the holiday season, right? So that's who he's going to build our culture. The eggnog is building our culture out the point guard position. My second, my two guard, it's a microwave badge. You know what I'm saying? It's a microwave badge. You have to have this during holiday season. Mine's got a little twist on it. Mine's not just your normal spot up shooter. I got the peppermint hot chocolate. The peppermint hot chocolate at
Nice.
shooting guard. You can't. I mean, come on, man. The
Peppermint
hot cocoa itself. Like, you're telling me this guy heats up fast, but you sprinkle a little peppermint on it. You know what I'm saying? You might throw him off a ball screen this time. You know what I mean? So like,
Oh my
give me the
Okay.
peppermint. Give me the peppermint hot cocoa at the 2. That's an incredible backcourt. I'm feeling so confident in that one.
I like that. I like that backcourt. I'll keep going here, Luke. I like that too a lot, actually. I think my 2 matchup and your 2 matchup would be a downright battle. This guy's got a lot of flash, right? And doesn't come around, at least for me, until December, late November. Keeping the peppermint train rolling. I've got Ghirardelli's peppermint bark at the 2.
I didn't even
I don't know
think about that.
I don't know if you guys are
That's
familiar with
that's a
peppermint
stocking
bark.
stuffer special.
Yeah, peppermint bark is elite, man. and I only have it. I only have it around this time.
Yeah,
This is-
I can confidently say that's pretty true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
You don't like peppermint bark, Jay?
I'm not a
There's
big
no way
peppermint
he does.
fan.
There's
I'm
no
just, I'm
chance he
just, I'm
does.
just. Your list is always when it comes to food. Your list just never cease to amaze me.
I've been
There's just,
having some. I've been
there's
having
just
some
no,
pretty,
there's just
some
no
pretty crazy
nutrients.
lists.
There's
I'm
just
not
some
gonna lie.
no
lately.
nutrient lists when it
Tommy's
comes
had
to
some
food.
duds recently. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
I was
lie.
no, I was literally just gonna say that I've had some like really non-pleasing the viewers lists lately. Like I don't think I've cracked like 20% in the votes lately,
That's all
Yeah.
right. Maybe
and
they've
that's
been watching.
okay. You
Maybe
know,
they've been
I'm
listening.
fine. I'm
Yeah,
fine with that.
speaking of that, man, Furman needs to wake up, man. What's Furman
That's
talk
so
about?
funny. That's so funny you say that, Jared, because he loves Derek Fisher. Like Derek Fisher is his
That makes so
guy.
much sense, man. That makes so
So
much
much
sense.
sense.
It makes more sense about who he is as a person.
So much sense, man.
Yeah. Furman just trying to ride those coattails, I guess.
It sure is. The
All
left
right.
hand catapult and everything. That's what his jumper looks like.
Oh God. All right. At my shooting guard. So we had glue guy at the point guard. This guy, he always just scores in bunches. Like you're never just gonna have one of these. You're just gonna have lots of them. And even if you're like kind of full, when you go back for seconds and thirds, you're gonna throw an extra couple of these on your plate. Give me the Hawaiian rolls, the shooting
Nice.
guard.
Mm.
Hawaiian rolls at the shooting guard because it just
I can just
filling it up,
see the different
filling the
routes that
basket.
we
Yeah.
took because this
Nice.
is way different.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. I'm thinking about
Now
real Christmas meal.
that's holiday to you, Jared.
Yeah, totally.
No, it
Yeah,
is.
no,
That's
I don't have
I think it's a
anything.
good
I don't
call.
have anything against it. I was just
Yeah. No, that was
Hawaiian
pretty
rolls wouldn't be
standard.
the Hawaiian rolls wouldn't be like the first thing that would come to mind for me holiday. But you know, we just said I have crazy food lists, so
Not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I didn't think of mashed potatoes nor Hawaiian rolls. So
I
Yeah.
thought mashed potatoes crossed my mind.
definitely did.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all building different teams, you know. Some of us build the
Completely.
Thunders, some of us build, other teams.
The Raising Canes team. That was our sponsor. All right, my bad.
All right, at the small forward. Now, this is definitely a homer pick. I know we were just talking about my list, and I just felt like I couldn't leave this one out. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I actually enjoy the Christmas Eve offerings more than I enjoy the actual Christmas Day offerings. And this is like the main staple. This is the showstopper, right? This is my LeBron right here for my squad. Give me the ravioli casserole. I don't like casseroles, but for some reason, this casserole just like makes things happen. It's like the old man that still scores 40. It's LeBron.
This
The
that,
ravioli
this is
casserole.
that's a Waters pick for sure, right?
Yeah,
Like
for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
it's a great way to like, start
I
the
don't think I've ever
festivities.
had ravioli casserole, honestly.
I
Yeah,
haven't
I
had
that's the
ravioli
only
casserole
sounds
either.
good, but like
it's essentially lasagna if we're being honest, but they
Okay,
don't call it
that's the
lasagna,
vibe
right?
I was getting.
Yeah. So like, and I actually like so that's the difference. You know how lasagna, if you have lasagna, I don't want to go on too much tangent. It kind of falls apart, right? Like once
Right.
you start getting like eating it and stuff like that. Whereas the ravioli casserole, like because they're all condensed in little squares, everything kind of stays more, and then the cheese melts when it bakes, and so it like keeps it together. It's
Uh,
it's high level.
I'd love to try the ravioli
Yeah,
casserole one day.
you're welcome anytime.
Um,
All right.
to battle your LeBron James at the 3 of the ravioli casserole, I'll counter with a Kevin Durant-esque player here from I3. This is a holiday staple, man. When you think of Christmas, you think of this guy. When you think of the holidays, you think of this guy. I've got gingerbread at the 3. Give me the gingerbread man
That's what I'm
at the
saying.
3
the gingerbread
specifically.
man. Yeah, I like
Give me
that
the
a lot. Actually.
gingerbread man at the
You
3.
guys went real festive. I like this.
Oh, mine's so festive, and that's a really good pick, Tom. Phenomenal pick, and I'm glad you went with the gingerbread man route.
Yes.
I have the logo at the 3. I don't know how it hasn't been selected yet. This is crazy because, like, I thought for sure I had a backup ready. I thought for sure I have the candy cane at the 3. Are we serious? Are we talking?
Nice.
Are we
Oh,
talking
God.
holiday
Bro,
foods?
what
We
is
don't
it
have
with
the
you and
candy-
peppermint, man? What is your
I
obsession
love the
with
candy
peppermint?
cane.
I never
man.
said
No,
I'm not a
that's
big.
awesome.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest candy cane fan, but like, are you serious? This is the logo of Christmas
Yeah.
foods. Like,
Yeah, it is.
That's not a food.
I mean, it's a food.
What do you do with the candy cane, Jared? What do you
All
eat
right,
it?
okay. So you put it on your plate at the holidays. You're like, hey, who cooked the candy canes? Where are the candy canes at? Where can I find those?
It's a treat, but a treat is still considered a food.
Do you eat it, bro? Like, what are we
Do you
talking?
eat it? Do you eat a candy cane on Christmas?
Yeah, I probably will.
Okay,
Like,
all right,
are you
all right.
serious? You probably did too.
Definitely
You know,
did not.
they have different flavored candy canes too, and that was what I was going to go into. This is
Yeah.
a versatile 3-man now. Like this guy, I see Starburst flavors. You see,
They
random
got the
flavor. I don't
sweet
know.
tart, the
You
sweet
know what I'm
tarts,
saying?
candy
They probably
canes.
got Snickers flavored candy canes. Honestly,
Yeah,
like, you
that's
know what I mean?
disgusting.
Like,
Ew.
but give me the candy cane at the 3,
That's
and
an awesome pick. I
at
would
the
love to see
4.
the gingerbread man and the candy cane just go bucket for bucket.
You're gonna like to see this matchup even better because I have the gingerbread house at the 4. Because
Okay.
like the thing about the gingerbread man, like I think he's a little one dimensional. I think the gingerbread man's a little one dimensional. I don't know exactly what he does on both sides of the ball. I think he's a he's like a drive for show but not putt for dough type of player. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
Whereas
god.
the gingerbread house screams stability. It screams structure. It's a defensive presence at the 4. And
This is
you know what I'm saying? Like it's
crazy.
what? I don't get what's wrong
No,
with it. I don't get what's
there's
wrong with it.
there's nothing wrong
My
with it. I mean, the
only
candy cane was
critique
terrible, but like
uh
this is actually hilarious
my
because
only critique with the
I'll tell you.
gingerbread house, my only critique with the gingerbread house is I can't say like after making a gingerbread house, I've really taken the time and eaten the gingerbread house that I made.
I
You know what I mean?
I think that's a
And
very
I'm
completely
not
valid
flagging.
point.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
flagging the
because
gingerbread house. That's just my critique with the gingerbread house.
genuinely don't know if I've ever eaten a gingerbread house.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
But with that
I
being
might be a
said,
little concerned if you have.
it is edible. It is
yeah.
It it
all.
is.
It's
I,
icing.
I
It's
I
gingerbread. It's
also don't
candy.
know how well it's gonna move its feet. I mean, it probably has a good foundation.
I never said it was a
Defensively,
mobile
it's
4. I never said it was a mobile
it's
4.
probably a
Never.
cone, to be honest.
No, we're running a 2-3 zone and we're sticking him in the middle. That's all I'm saying. Like, and that's
That's a
fine.
good point,
There's no
Jared.
defensive
Those
3 in
are
the key
cinder blocks.
because you know why you can't be in the key in the NBA because it cuts down scoring. So we're gonna put the gingerbread house in the middle of the key and we're playing NCAA 2-3 zone just like Jim Boeheim.
All
Back
right,
to you,
go ahead,
James.
Tom. Who's your
It's a
power
good
forward
pick,
after
man.
that?
Okay. Okay, I'll make Jared happy with this pick, man. I'm gonna stray away from what my food lists usually look like, and I'll go with a Ball family staple. Jared has the ravioli casserole. I've got a two-way guy here. He plays offense, he plays defense. Give me the twice baked potato. Twice
Nice.
baked
Nice.
potato at the
That's good.
Haven't
4.
you
I like that.
haven't the twice baked potato has been selected? I believe in another.
It
I feel like
probably
that was a
has.
Thanksgiving list.
It
Was it
probably was a
Thanksgiving?
thanks. And
I don't.
honestly, I'm doubling down, man. It's
No,
so freaking
I'm
good.
not mad. It wasn't that
Yeah,
wasn't a flag. I'm just saying you can tell that this guy,
I
he,
think.
he showed up to
Yeah,
perform that week and you needed him back on the team. So I respect that, you know?
I think you might
He
be
got
right.
two 10 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Well, it's a
I
twice
might
baked
sign him.
potato for a reason, man.
Might
It's
sign
a
him to a two-way
two-time.
this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
two-way.
two-time
That's
thing.
right.
It's a two-time thing with the TBP.
All right. Wow. This is crazy. At my power forward. Now, this is the guy that's going to anchor my defense. Why? Because he's organized and he communicates and he's loud and he makes sure everyone's in their right spot. So give me the Advent calendar chocolate at the
The
power
calendar
forward.
chocolate.
Okay.
Advent calendar
Now you're
chocolate.
now
at the
you're now
4.
you're
See,
back on where you're
Yeah,
on
now
the
you're
wavelength that I
talking,
was on.
Waters.
Yeah.
Now
See,
you're talking, Waters.
I mean, you got to think like everybody's organized. This guy's going to be a great anchor for my defense. This is my Kevin Garnett. You know what I'm saying?
No, this
So,
guy.
yeah.
But what happens after Christmas? Like he just doesn't show up to the practice facility, or like because the
So
holidays.
he only gets one 10-day, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
Yeah.
the holidays is kind of all encompassing at this point. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no.
people might
No, this
consider
guy,
New
this is
Year's.
like the cleanup guy. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
And so,
respectable.
and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those kids that I would either cheat and eat the candy early because I
Yeah.
can't
Doesn't
one little
surprise me
square of
one bit.
chocolate, or I would be disciplined and I would wait. And I would wait like 5-6 days and I would eat 5 or 6 of them. So,
Okay,
just depends.
respectable.
It's really crazy. You should see what the advent calendars look like now.
Oh, I don't even want to know.
Yeah, it's actually nuts. Anyways, now at the center to keep my team nice and sweet here. I'm gonna go again. This is another family staple. It is retired, so I don't know how many minutes he's gonna play now, but I feel like I had to put him on a team. Like Udonis Haslam stayed on a team. He kept getting contracts. Why can't this guy keep getting contracts? I got the marble cake. This was a Waters family staple. The recipe was never written down,
Oh,
and now the recipe is there's no recipe.
that's
It's
the
just
worst.
This is so
so this is like a farewell tour to the
The
marble
farewell
cake.
no,
tour,
that's
man.
crazy. Throwing the
Uh,
shooting sleeve out after games and everything.
yeah,
Oh,
Dang,
yeah,
that brings
exactly.
that
Yeah,
brings
it
a
was
tear to
like
my eye.
homemade frosting, homemade cake. My grandma did it she only did it twice a year for Thanksgiving and
Dang.
actually 3 times. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and for your birthday. She would do it if you asked. But she never wrote the recipe down and no one ever bothered to pay attention to learn it. So took
so
Dang.
honor.
this is
Sounds
another
special, man.
this is another double dip of the Thanksgiving foods category.
I was
Tommy
gonna
did
say,
have
yeah,
the twice baked potato at the shooting guard, and Jared, you had the marble cake at the
that's what I
Yeah.
walk on
thought.
pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys, Dallas
Mm,
has them, keeps getting contracts, man. What can you say?
Um, yeah, that's a good pick, Jared. I thought I had heard that selection before. So
Yeah.
Luke, thank you for confirming. I'm gonna keep the Ball family staple rolling here at the 5. You won't find a Christmas Eve without this food on the plate.
Toblerone.
That
Oh my God, that would have been perfect. That is
would have
really
been
that's so
so
funny.
good.
That's a doctorate,
Unfortunately,
doctorate.
unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. This is actually a Ball family staple because apparently I'm not tapped in with what we like and nobody likes Toblerone but me. Um, I've got flank steak at the 5.
Nice,
Got flank steak
nice,
at the 5. We need some beef, and we don't ever go Christmas Eve. We don't ever go Christmas Eve without a flank steak.
nice, nice. So that's a strong 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not as strong as my 5. Because in you two, like, look, we've all done. You guys have both done your family staple, so I have to do mine. I had this on my list. This will literally mean 0 to probably 99% of our listeners. But to my Avdos out there, I got bakalar at the 5. What
Yeah.
bakalar is in Croatia, you eat it on Christmas, and we always eat it every Christmas Eve when we go see my grandparents. And it's a salted cod soup, and it's the strongest salt like soup you've ever had. As a kid, I didn't like it. I'll eat it now. It's got like potatoes and vegetables in the fish, obviously, in it, but
Mm.
or it's more of a stew, I would say, probably. But yeah, it's been a tradition our whole life, and I would be remiss if I didn't have it in my list. So like I said, it
Mm.
probably means absolutely nothing, but
Yeah. Shout
gotta
out
have
Papa
it.
Avdo.
I don't. That's not his. He doesn't.
I
Yeah, no. This is Baca. Baca
love it.
cooks up a mean bacalar. And then my walk on, and this is one that again I think it's similar to the eggnog pick, where the people who know what I'm talking about are gonna fight like hell for this one. I have the Christmas tree shaped Reese's cups because I'm telling you, these are better than the normal Reese's. The Christmas tree shaped ones that
Oh,
go in the
interesting.
stocking, bro, I'm telling you, these are better than the normal
I feel like it's
Reese's.
the distribution of the
It
chocolate
is, it
to
is,
to
and the
peanut butter.
people
I
Interesting
agree because
pick.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
because a lot of
Yeah,
people like
I think we're all three on the same
the
page
jack o'
here. I
lantern
agree
ones
too.
too, or what aren't there the
Those ones
pumpkin
are more
ones?
like a Reese's cup. Yeah.
But people like those, but the Christmas tree ones, I'm telling you,
Yeah. The Christmas tree has a good. Yeah. That's a great pick.
they
Definitely
are
special.
elite,
Definitely a
man.
special program.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so look, man. Like I said, my walk on, I take a lot of pride in my walk on picks, and that is your quintessential walk on. It only gets a chance for about 3 weeks in December, and it
Yeah. So
does
what? Yeah. So
numbers, and it does numbers. So you gotta have them in there.
I love it. I'm gonna
Tom.
keep consistent with what I've had 3 kind of rogue picks, as Jared likes to call them. 2 ball family picks. I'm gonna give one more, man. This walk on only comes around once a year, maybe twice if we're lucky. It's an underrated dessert. You guys probably never had it. I would be surprised if you had, but I love it. It's my favorite. Give me the soda cracker pie.
This is another
It's,
repeat, man.
it's another repeat, but we're here.
The soda
Give me the
Yeah.
cracker
soda
I don't know.
cracker
Yeah. I
pie.
don't eat pie. Yeah. You're
Stacy
right.
Ball,
I've never.
man.
We
Stacy
need to
Ball
have
just doesn't miss.
We need to legitimately have an episode of just what Jared eats because I think it would be about a 10-minute episode.
You think so?
You're literally like, I don't eat that. No, I don't eat that. Nah, I don't eat that.
That's
Do
the
you eat
only
candy
time I
canes?
said
don't
that.
eat that. That's like the third time this starting 5. The candy canes.
Because
you
no,
don't
I
eat.
asked if you have candy canes with your Christmas meal. I was like, no, you don't put candy canes on your Christmas plate.
We said originally this was a treats one, then we pivoted to food, so it was more all encompassing. All right, so my bad for putting the logo in my starting 5. My
Uh,
goodness.
all right. My walk on, in all similar fashion. This guy, you know, he's really got to fight for his time because now we got all these other desserts, soda cracker pie, and all this other stuff just battling him. And he's just been here. You know, we got Reese's cups that try to pretend they're Christmas trees and all these other things, man. But like this guy's been here from the start, man. Like this is what Santa's all about. Give me the Christmas cookies, the sugar cookies that you put your own frosting and that
Nice.
you design yourself. You get the cutout, the metal
Yeah.
cutout, you get the big sheet of cookie dough, and then you get to design them yourself. You do it at class, you bring them home, and
That's-
you know, those are perfect, man.
That's a timeless classic, man. That's a
Those are-
timeless classic.
Those are perfect. Like, I don't know why they taste so much better than regular sugar cookies during the year. There's got to be some Santa magic in there.
There's gotta
Has to be.
Yeah, because
I think
like
that's the only explanation.
Simply
honestly.
has to be.
Yeah, when it bakes like that shape, a star, you had the basics. You had the star, the ornament, and the Christmas tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
There's
it.
a
I'm a big
gingerbread
fan of-
cutout
I'm
too.
a-
There's a gingerbread cutout too. Usually.
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of the Christmas tree. I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
the Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's just because you can just add a little dab, like some ornaments with some different, like
little tinsel across the side.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
That's a great pick. I was hoping someone did milk and cookies to some extent, so I'm glad you wrapped it up with that.
Those are that's the walk on.
Fun lists, man. Fun lists.
Yeah,
It's got me in the Christmas spirit. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
I'm not an
definitely will
X-Man
have to
dog.
work out after eating all this.
Yeah.
Our lists are
Yeah.
not. I'm gonna
Like I
need to
said,
get back in the
mine has one non-dessert food.
gym. Yeah, at least I had some real food on mine.
Hey,
Hey,
like I
hey,
said, we eat-
my front court was real food.
You guys, that's why you started naming picks, and I was like, oh my god, mine is pure
That's why
stocking
that's why I was
stuffer
laughing
BS.
earlier because like I was literally like when we talked about Christmas foods, we thought about it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
I look because for me, honestly, bacalar is like the only thing when it comes to real food that I think about for Christmas, just because of our traditions.
And that's
Everything
respectable.
else is just garbage. Like straight York patties was almost in there, gumdrops
York
was almost in there. You know what I mean?
patties.
Like all these.
Oh my gosh, some Andes.
Yo,
Andes
you have an
mountain.
obsession with peppermint. You have odd obsession with peppermint.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not a big peppermint fan in like to begin with. Like I
You
like
had 2
normal mint
peppermint
better.
things in there, and you were gonna put a
Yeah, 'cause
York
it's
battery in
Christmas.
there.
Because it's
Starts
Christmas.
to get a little cold, man. Peppermint comes out.
Because it's Christmas. Like that's a staple.
Oh,
The
I
candy
guess.
cane, the logo.
Well, you know, we're talking about the holidays. We're talking about Christmas. You know, when Santa rolls up to the roof, my tummy might be full, but I'm still gonna get my 50 chips a night, so I can lead my team to a victory in the holiday scramble. So I have that trophy in sight.
Nice.
Ooh,
Holiday
Nice.
scramble. I like that.
Dr. Waters strikes again.
Thought you were
We
gonna
had some
say,
good
like,
ones,
something
man.
with like the ho 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 or jolly
Wow.
Saint.
Okay, I
Night
wasn't
or
gonna
something
go.
like
No, I
that.
wasn't gonna- No, I didn't have that in the bag.
You've had some good ones lately, Jared.
Yeah, I've been locked in.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad you have been. I'm glad you have been.
Yeah,
cool, man.
somebody's got to do it.
Hank Griffey.
Yeah.
Listeners, we appreciate you all for tuning in to another great episode. We apologize again for the late upload, but we're here. We got one out for you guys. So thank you for tuning in, week out. The content's gonna keep coming. We got more fun things planned ahead. So thanks again, and happy holidays. So these are your favorite walk-ons. We're walking out.